Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. We got another great show for you here today. Just a quick one on Canada today. I don't want to take up too much of Dan's time. All right, guys. As always, if you like what we're doing, you gotta destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. You have to. No, you don't have to. I would love
Comment.
if you subscribed, because we're 420-ish away from Mark doing rushing dancing on the channel when we hit 1,000 by the end of July. And guys, comment. Let us know what you think of Dan's deal. Have you done something similar? Are you doing a different strategy? What else would you like to see us cover on this channel? I'm just trying to put stuff out there, guys, for you to learn, to grow. So again, welcome, Dan. Let's get right into it. So Dan, we're going to talk about, like, you bought a bungalow on Hamilton Mountain, correct?
Right.
We're going to go through the numbers with Dan's spreadsheet, because you love George's spreadsheet. So we're going to go through that as well. And yeah, I mean, so you bought it, you're putting a legal second unit in.
Right.
And you're going to rent it and refinance. So basically you're BRRRing.
That's it.
So Dan, who are you first off?
Sure. So my name's Dan. I've been Dan Carrol. I've been a realtor for going on 11 years now. I've been an active investor myself for 3 years. Yeah, almost to the day. I got started 3 years ago after a conversation with my friend Mark Loeffler here. Got me started with my first flip, and I caught the bug and I kept going. So this will be my second buy fix refi. Also a bungalow, also on the East Mountain, almost in the same neighborhood actually. Yeah, I mean, this is my fifth property, and I'm about to close on my sixth on Friday this week.
Is that a flip, or is that a buy, rent, or refi?
That'll be a flip that I'm buying on Friday. I've done more flips than BRRRRs, but that'll soon be switching. I'll be taking on more rental projects as I move along.
So, I mean, key question: how do you determine if it's going to be a flip or a BRRRR?
Well, I mean, the projects that I flipped, you couldn't really put a second suite in it. It just happened to be a good deal, and why not? You know, so I like fixing up houses. It's fun, and why pass up a good deal? So I just went for it and flipped it.
So let's talk about this. So Dan, you're a realtor, been a realtor for 11 years. You started investing 3 years ago. You also have a full-time job,
right?
You sell steel. I
sell steel, yeah. 2 years ago, actually. Again, almost, just over 2 years. I took a full-time job for family reasons. I needed something with stability, as my wife was pregnant with a second kid, and I just felt like I wanted to focus on our young family as we were growing. So my son now is almost 2. He'll be 2 in September, and I have a 4.5-year-old daughter as well. So it's a pretty hectic household, and
so
it's
you're
been good.
A realtor.
Yep.
You have 2 kids, and you have a full-time job.
Right.
You're flipping and doing BRRRRs.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not busy.
No.
You were asking about the booze again?
Yeah. Well, it's a tall boy, right? So.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, guys, we're here to see Dan's BRRRR, right? We're here to see what Dan's BRRRR looks like.
See the BRRRR.
Maybe we'll have Dan back on to talk about his flip, but right now we're here for his BRRRR. We don't want to take too long. So Dan, flip over to that.
Let's do it.
That sweet spreadsheet, and then let's walk through this.
Broken down into kind of a purchase spreadsheet that we use for analysis after refinance. So we actually haven't refinanced this property yet, but based on my analysis, my research.
Slow it down 1 second.
Sure.
When did you buy this property?
We purchased this it was early February.
Okay.
That we acquired it. So just before all the COVID stuff.
Closed?
Yeah. No, we had the accepted offer. Yeah.
Okay, great. So you got an accepted offer of $475,000, correct?
Right. Yeah. We were in competition. Right. We won it in competition, MLS listing. you know, 475 grand is purchase price. And yeah, so I've got it broken down into a purchase tab after a refinance tab. Like I said, we haven't refinanced, but based on my research, we're using those numbers and maybe even being a little conservative. And then I have a copy that kind of condenses everything. If I were to show this to a JV partner, that's the copy that I would show.
So back up. So early February, multiple offers. How many offers were there?
There were on this one, I think there was 21.
21 offers. Okay,
including
got
ours.
it for 475.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm assuming you had no conditions. It was like cash offer.
No,
okay?
cash offer. Again, being in the business for 11 years, as you know, you get to see enough properties. You kind of get to know what you're looking for, and you understand the risks that you're taking as well. This one actually had a lot of stuff stripped out of it, so everything was pretty bare, so I could see what I was getting myself into, so I wasn't overly concerned about anything. And in my experience that I've had so far, I know I can, if there's a problem, there's always a solution. So
yeah, for sure. So okay, when was closing?
when did we close on this one? This was sorry,
Okay.
I gotta think about that.
Estimate.
I'm just bringing up the old
A
calendar
month,
here. When
6
was that?
weeks.
It was in March.
It was during
sometime.
COVID.
It was during, yeah, like it was
Like the
right in
first
the
week
middle
of
of
COVID, the second
everything.
week of COVID.
It was early.
That's how we're marking our calendars now. First week, second week.
It was early. It was early enough where I was like, uh-oh. But you know, you can't control the market, and
I mean, you can't control COVID, right? You can't control
COVID. You can't control what's going to happen around you, but you can control how you react to it. And the first thought that I had, because I have a partner on this one, is not timing the market, but time in the market. And that's something that you said. So that automatically just calmed me down. I was cool. Like, all right, let's just go after this. We ended up getting our permits just before they shut all that down. So we got fortunate. We were pretty fortunate there.
So you've been working the whole time. You had no shutdown.
No shutdown. It's been slow getting, like for inspectors and stuff, but whatever. And materials it's slowed the project down for sure, but we're able to move forward. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Okay. So,
anyway.
Okay. 475 closed about a month later, 5 weeks later during COVID, got permits. So obviously you're working on the permits before you closed. Is that correct?
Right. Yep. Do as much as you can before closing. I usually have, for those that aren't familiar, one of the things that we have in our closets, all the standard ones would be like, inspection, mortgage, things like that. We didn't have those, but what I did have is final walkthroughs, and I generally put in about 5 of them. And that's so that I can get back in there with a contractor, with electrician, whatever, to get some estimates, measuring for new windows or whatever, line them all up before, so that when you close, you get those keys, you're hitting the ground running.
Yeah. Okay. So 475 purchase price. So you had a partner and they brought in the full down payment, or?
Well, so it's my business partner. We're splitting it.
Okay.
So this is half my house, half of his house.
All right.
So yeah, we're splitting the cost.
So splitting the cost. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a mortgage for $380,000 at 3.19%.
30-year AM.
30-year AM.
And then a breakdown of all the purchase costs associated and the amount of money that we'll need at closing. The land transfer tax, we just included the link in here straight from the so that we can actually calculate accurately what our land transfer tax is going to be.
So this is as is, obviously.
This is as is. And then do you want to flip over to the refi?
So what's your renovation costs? What were your renovation costs that you were thinking to begin with?
We were approximately about 80,000.
Okay. So it's going to bring you to about 585 plus 10 grand closing cost, 565?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and that's going to get you a legal 2-unit property.
Right. There was always going to be some costs that you don't, that might surprise you.
Yeah.
And again, with every property that you do, you learn something new. And yeah, one of the things here was the driveway we didn't factor in. We have to widen that. And then we weren't, well, one thing we didn't think of too is that you can only take up a certain amount of the property with the driveway. You can't go past 50%. We were at 52%, so we have to apply for a variance for that. But we may have also found a way around it too.
Landscaping.
getting clever with the landscaping. Exactly. So it'll get us right to 50-50 and we can move on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's go to renovations and after refi and.
Sure. Yeah. So actually, I wonder if this copy will be the best one here. Purchase price. Okay. So our estimated value after the appraisal, we're assuming 675,000. I've heard upwards of 700,000, but I thought that might be a little ambitious. So we're going with 675. And hold on, the camera's blocking some of the numbers here. So then I have another little tab over here. You can see my cursor, right? I'm not just talking to myself. Okay. So the renovating carrying costs. Again, the more information that you can have on these spreadsheets, the better.
For sure.
I haven't looked at this one in a little while. So estimated rent. Okay, so we actually bumped that up to 100,000.
Well, you always add 20% anyways, right? Because
right,
just that contingency of that extra 20%. So
exactly. But the important number here is like how much money you're going to have in the left in the investment remaining. With these bungalows, I'm finding you're going to have money left in the investment afterwards, where I know there's projects going on downtown where you're taking a single family, doing a triplex or a quadplex conversion. You're seeing $50,000 being pulled out and all that kind of stuff. We're not getting that with this. We still have about $50,000 remaining. Again, these are using conservative numbers. But when you consider you have $50,000 remaining in a project where if you were to purchase this house just off the street and you wanted to rent it out, you'd have to put 20% down plus closing costs. You'd have at least about $145,000 tied up versus $50,000 you'd have the same house.
And
so
that's based on your conservative estimate. So
it's based on conservative estimates. Yeah.
475,000. You've estimated $100,000 in renovation costs.
Right.
I know you closed in March. This is July 1st. Where are you at right now?
We're close. We're probably a week and a half out from being done.
Okay. So 4 months.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
4 months through COVID, renovation. Are you going to hit that $100,000? You're going to be less? You're going to be more?
We're pretty much on the button. We're doing pretty good. Our carrying costs will be higher, but we're looking pretty good. Yeah, there hasn't been any surprises on this one other than not factoring in the cost of the driveway. But we're getting a good price on that because that's kind of the bonus of buying other properties too. You can kind of clump them together. So we've the next project we're gonna give it to that guy as well, and potentially another couple. So package deal.
So your conservative estimate 675,000, which leaves you about 50 grand into the property.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Good.
But then what people have to also consider too is that you still have equity tied up in this property. 20% of that is equity, right? So you have money. It's just sitting over here.
Yeah, you still have $130,000 in equity sitting there. $135,000, right?
Exactly.
So your initial investment of say $200,000, you've paid back $150,000 in 4 months.
Right.
You've taken that $50,000 is now worth $130,000, $135,000, and I'm assuming you're going to make cash flow.
Yeah, we'll be cash flowing probably.
Well,
I think it's on here. It's on here somewhere.
Is it not?
It might be on the other.
Cash flow analysis.
There it is.
Drink less Bud.
Never.
Or Bud Light. I don't know.
So there you go. 677.13 based on our
So $675, $700 a month cash flow.
Yep. Not too shabby.
That's not too shabby. I mean, so you're getting $8,000 a year in positive cash flow.
Yep.
Or basically a $50,000 investment.
Right. And one thing I forgot to mention too is this is including a $5,000 reserve fund.
Yep.
So one thing that I recommend, and actually was I didn't need so I have another duplex on East Mountain, and with all this COVID stuff, my tenants are actually still paying, so it's fantastic. But I have a huge reserve fund there, so I'm up to probably about $11,000.
Wow.
And we were going to use that money for other renovations and stuff like that, other things to do around the house. But we're like, you know what, they're paying. let's keep it just in case. And so that place will float itself for a while. So we always factor in at least a $5,000 reserve fund for unexpected costs. So that's also included in that $50,000 remaining.
So basically $8,000 a year. I mean, your cash on cash return on, like, if you could spend 50 grand to get 8, like, what's that, 16% a year?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just on cash on cash. That's not including mortgage pay down.
Right.
That's not including appreciation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, I mean, I saw something like an 88% per year return.
Yep.
I mean, so why aren't you doing more of these?
Why am I not doing more?
Why are you flipping and not doing this?
It's a good. We're going to be doing more. Honestly, this next project that we just picked up is a good flip. So it's going to be good for quick cash. It's actually going to be enough to pay off this $50,000 that we have owing on this. But what we're working on is scalability. We don't want to be held up by one project. We want to be able to have multiple projects going on. So that's why I partnered with my friend Steve Kopak, super smart guy, really hard worker, and he's the one that's focusing on all of the construction side of things. And so he's focusing on that. I'm focusing on deal acquisition, and so our goal is to take on another project right away. So it's not holding us up. I'm just looking for the next project that's right for us.
Yeah, and whatever opportunity comes, like you just analyze it and say, oh, well, it's a flip or it's a hold.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go down to the bottom of the spreadsheet there that you had.
Yeah. So this is just breaking it down per year, right? So we're estimating a 3% annual increase in value, which
I think you've had a 3% increase since May.
Right. Exactly. So again, using conservative numbers, here's the cash on cash increase in value and whatnot. And I mean, there you go, about an 82% return on investment in our first year.
Nice. Sorry, I said 88. So, it's only 82.
How dare you?
And this is based on conservative numbers. So, okay, what's your, like, when you do refinance, what are you doing? A 5-year or 2-year? Like, what do you?
I've been doing, I've only done it once and I did a 5-year, and I haven't really thought of it. I'm probably a 5-year. We're planning on holding on to this for a while, and rates are good. So I don't know, but I guess maybe I could do it more short term, pull money out in a couple of years.
I mean, that'd be my advice.
Why listen to you? You only have a ton of experience, right?
Yeah. Well,
that's a good idea.
Honestly, I do 2 years on everything. I don't think interest rates are going up huge in the next 2 years.
Okay.
For me, I would take a 2-year on this and take a little bit of lower interest rate or even a variable mortgage or something.
Right.
And get even more cash flow. And in 2 years, I mean, you get your appreciation, a little bit of mortgage pay down, and you're laughing, right? Like
that's a good
your
idea.
money's out again. And then that's when you can put a longer term mortgage on.
Yeah. No, it's a good idea. Yeah. I'll probably go with that.
All right. Well, cool. I mean, Dan, what other words of wisdom do you have for everybody out there? Like, I know you just started this 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, and really just starting to ramp it up now. I mean, I'm about to acquire my 6th property, but this is my 3rd property in 8 months. So I'm really just starting to get the ball rolling now. And I love doing these Facebook lives. I'm shocked at how many people watch me walk through one of my properties on Facebook Live. And then afterwards is when I get the barrage of questions and like people just saying, oh, I wish I could do that. And the conversation that I had with you when I was about to buy my first property, I had already been in real estate for a bunch of years and I was nervous. I couldn't believe how nervous I was. And I just wanted to talk to somebody and, just jump in. I mean, really like, consult with somebody that knows what they're talking about. And I'm shocked at how many people are out there that do this, that are willing to share their information. So talk to somebody and just do it, because that's when you really start to learn. I had been reading books for years, like the Dolph DeRousses and the Rich Dad Poor Dads and whatnot. And for 10 years, I was becoming an expert at something I had never done until I actually got down to the nitty gritty and started doing it. Did I really start learning? And I'm telling you, that fear goes away pretty quick. And you'll find yourself into some situations where you're like, holy cow, like how am I dealing with this?
And what do you do in those situations?
You find a way. Like there's, I can't tell you how many times where I had a property last year. I was working till like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was doing a lot of the work myself, which was stupid, but I was doing it anyway. And, you reach out, just don't go down with your ship without anybody, knowing where you are. Like just tell people what you're doing. And if you need help, reach out. And that's actually how I ended up partnering up with my buddy, Steve, was that I was like, buddy, can you help me? And he did. And next thing you know, it was a house on Battlefield Drive in Stony Creek, and we're sitting in the basement having a cold one. And he was like, he wants to do this. And I said, you know what, we should call it Battlefield Real Estate Investment. So here we are.
There you go. Well, good stuff, man. Anything else before we jump off, other than everyone should have subscribed already and destroyed the like button? We don't say smash anymore. It's destroying the like button.
Destroy the like button. Comment. You got to comment too.
You got to comment. Right. Dan comments on at least 1 out of 5 of my videos. So that's
right. Yeah. Ask questions, but like, how often do I bug you about stuff? It's about having mentors in your life and people that inspire you and reaching out, because you've never not answered one of my questions. And don't be shy. Like I get people just reaching out and just asking questions. I'm happy to help if I can help. And if I can, I'll find somebody that can help you.
Yeah. Last video that went up on Monday was your network is your net worth, right?
Right.
I mean, who are you going to call, right? Like you can call me, you can call Alex Powell. Yep. Brian Kirsty, like there's tons of people
Sandy,
who are doing this.
Adrian, you name it.
Yeah, Adrian. Yep.
Oh yeah. There's tons of them. It's happening everywhere. And, don't be sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else have the fun. You can sit there and watch HGTV every weekend, or you can grow your own Scott McGilvery beard yourself and just go after it. Right.
Is that what that is?
Kind of. We look like a before and after picture though. Yeah.
I didn't even know he had a beard.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. I watched the Scott.
All right. At that point, we're going to cut it off. When anybody mentions Scott McGilvery, we just pull the plug.
That's it. Game
all right,
over.
See you guys all in the next one.
Amen.